Hi, I'm Larn McMurray from Grains Innovation Australia, which is a private plant breeding company looking at developing innovative crop products for the modern farming systems. And in particular, we're focusing on lentil and field pea breeding, where we have many years of expertise in those crops, and looking to take some of our technologies to help make those crops fit the farming systems of low rainfall areas, but also more generally the pulse producing areas of the southern region. One of the limitations has been in pulse crops has been the ability of them to fit into the farming system, which is dominated by wheat, and the herbicide residues which come across with some of the products used in the wheat production system. So things like the IMI tolerant lentils was one of the first advances in this field, where we developed lentil lines with tolerance to in-crop applications of IMI herbicides and also IMI and SU residues. And that really helped to not only improve weed control in lentils, but also expand the production of lentils into low rainfall areas where those residues are a particular concern to growers. Another residue which is inhibiting pulse production and in particular lentil production in lower rainfall areas is the group I's, and in particular lontril residues. And we've worked on developing some tolerance in lentils to the group I products, in particular lontril. And this line here behind me is an example of an experimental line which has a combination of the group B, so the IMI and the SU tolerance, with some improved tolerance to the group I chemical lontril. It's the first type of pulse crop which has this combination of tolerances, and what it enables growers to have now is tolerance to not only the group Bs but also that group I tolerance, which is particularly important in low rainfall areas on low fertility soils where the group I residues can hang around for a long time, but also in the modern farming system where stubble retention is practiced and lontril residues tie up on the stubble and are released during the following year with rainfall events. And that has been becoming increasingly a problem, not just in low rainfall areas, but also in medium and high rainfall areas where stubble retention is practiced. So this combination of tolerances again will help to make pulses more robust in the system, make them fit better into existing farming systems where these herbicides are used regularly. The other advantage is that potentially we can improve weed control with this combination of herbicide tolerance as well now, enabling us to perhaps target some of the weeds which are currently hard to control in lentils, like vetch, medic and group B resistant prickly lettuce and milk thistle. So that's one of the things we've worked on and are looking at potentially bringing to growers in coming years. At the moment the line is in NVT trials in South Australia and Victoria, and it's also in some large-scale farmer bulk-up trials with a couple of commercial growers on the Yorke Peninsula and the Wimmera in Victoria, and we're looking forward to seeing how that goes in those trials. The initial variety is a bit shorter in plant height than what the current common lentil varieties are. It'll probably be suited to the more favourable areas initially until we develop varieties which are a bit more normal in their growth habit compared to current varieties. So continuing on the theme of making pulses more robust in the modern farming system, we've worked on improving tolerance in the field peas to both the IMI tolerant herbicides and also the SU tolerant herbicides. This variety behind me here has been released in the last few months as GIA Alstar. It's based on the Dun type field pea Ara, but we've incorporated into it the tolerance to both those two herbicides. It's important to note that it's not just having the IMI tolerance, so we can use an in-crop herbicide of IMIs in the crop itself. It's actually making the crop have an ability to come into the rotation after an IMI has been used, which is an important thing. Especially in the recent times where rainfall over summer and between herbicide applications has been erratic and generally less than what is recommended on the plant packs for these herbicides, which has made it difficult to come in with break crops after, say, a Spartacus barley or a canola crop where the IMI herbicide has been used. So having varieties now, pulse varieties now with these tolerances in their arsenal, it means that we have a lot more safety and security of being able to grow a good pulse crop after a cereal crop which has had those Group B herbicides used. So this variety has both the IMI and the SU, which is advantageous for that and also for improving weed control in the field pea itself. The other advantage of, or the potential advantage of having these improved tolerant varieties is that there has been work to show that both nitrogen fixation in pulses and also disease levels is often exacerbated by low levels of damage caused by herbicides. So where you have a herbicide injury or a residue herbicide causing herbicide injury, often you can have reduced N-fix or increased disease levels. So by having this tolerance to the herbicide or the residual herbicide, we can reduce the impact of disease potentially, and also hopefully get a healthier growing crop which fixes more nitrogen, which is essentially why we are growing the pulse in the first place, as a system crop to benefit the cereal rotation. So this variety is now available, and there's a similar variety called GIA Castar, which is based on the Wharton pea variety and has tolerance to the IMI herbicide, but not the SU in the case of the GIA Castar. But it does have the Casper seed type, which is preferred by many marketers.